Hey, what's up everyone? GameDad here, and we are coming back with part 2 of my Xbox 360 collection. So, in the last video, we were able to go through a nice stack of those games, and we are going to do the same this time, so sit back and enjoy. Command & Conquer 3: The Tiberium Wars was released by Electronic Arts in 2007, and in this game you continue the awesome Command & Conquer franchise, and of course you're playing it on console, which just makes it extra fun because you get that really awesome graphics update. Crackdown 2 was released by Microsoft Game Studios in 2010, and in this game you are following the events of the first Crackdown game. And as you can see here in the initial cutscene, you follow this large press conference that's happening where the guy basically admits he doesn't care what's going on, everything explodes, and boom, the game starts. Crysis 2 was released by Electronic Arts in 2011, and this game is really cool, really intense graphics, and it's kind of funny because one of the running jokes from the first Crysis game on PC was that it didn't run very well, so this game had an achievement for did it run? CSI Hard Evidence was released by Ubisoft in 2007, and this game is pretty lackluster. It's not a great game, but back when I was, farming gamer score points, things like that, this was one of those games I put in about an hour of a time and got 1,000 gamer score points. So I figured, why not? Dance Central was released by MTV Games in 2010, and this game was pretty cool because it used your full body as the controller using the Kinect sensor. Now, during game capture, I did not have my Kinect actually hooked up on my desk, so I don't have any game cap because it won't let you play without it, but it's a pretty cool game. Dance Dance Revolution Universe 2, released by Konami in 2007, and this game, honestly, it's just like every other DDR game that there is. I mean, you follow along with the rhythm, you have some crazy fast songs in there, and that's about it. I mean, it's a DDR game. Dantes Inferno was released by Electronic Arts in 2010, and fun fact, this is actually the first game that my now wife ever bought me. So this is a pretty cool game to have in my collection, got some sentimental value with it. And this game, it's actually really fun, very God of War-like, or like old school God of War, but still really fun. The Darkness was released by 2K Games in 2007, and in this game you play as the main character. I believe his name was Tommy, and he kind of just has this darkness inside of him that manifests in really horrific ways so that he can take out his enemies. Pretty cool game, neat concept. And here's the follow-up, The Darkness 2, released by 2K Games in 2012, so many years later. So it did get a really good graphics update. The storyline I felt was a lot better in this one, but overall it has the same kind of core mechanics. You go around, you take out the baddies with your inner darkness. Pretty fun. Dark Messiah of Might and Magic Elements was released by Ubisoft in 2008, and this was one of those random finds. I just happened to see it on the shelf. I was like, what the heck, looked interesting. It was a super cheap game, and honestly, it has a little low budget feel to it, but the game was super fun. Definitely a hidden gem on the 360. Dark Souls was released by From Software in 2011, and this game is notorious for being insanely difficult. I still remember when I picked up this game, the cashier was just like, "Oh, have you ever played it?" And I said, "No." And he's like, "Oh, you're gonna die a lot." And here we have Dark Void, released by Capcom in 2010, and it kind of feels like a cross between a sci-fi shooter kind of game and a re-envisioning of The Rocketeer. I don't know. It's a space adventure game. You got a jetpack, you shoot stuff. Pretty fun. And here we have Darksiders, released by THQ in 2010. And this game is like the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse have crash landed on Earth. It's hell on Earth kind of thing. And you are playing as Death. So pretty cool game. Is definitely an interesting take on this concept. And here we have Darksiders II, released by THQ in 2012, and this is a continuation of the story where the powers that be are trying to bring balance back. And as you can see here, we got Death running through the screen, and it's all about, becoming Death. Up next is Dead Island, released by Deep Silver in 2011, and this is your typical zombie apocalypse, oh no, you were on vacation, something went horribly wrong kind of game. You get some, first-person exploration going on, but just like every other zombie game. And here we have Dead or Alive 4, released by Tecmo in 2005. Same classic Dead or Alive gameplay that you have come to know and expect from a game like this. Very flashy graphics, very moving and all that kind of stuff. Cool environments, but same premise as always. Up next is Dead or Alive 5, released by Tecmo Koei in 2012. And this game, I don't know what the deal is. I couldn't play any of the modes, and it wouldn't work online. So I don't know if this is just like a dead game now. No pun intended, but yeah, couldn't play it. And yay, another zombie game. It's Dead Rising, released by Capcom in 2006. And I know I was, kind of being sarcastic, but this one's actually pretty fun. You can use, like, literally anything in the game to kill zombies. So that was kind of fun. Gave you some exploration, and you could really get creative, especially with lawnmowers. Up next is Dead Space, released by Electronic Arts in 2011. And this game is terrifying. Like, it is such a good thriller horror game. I mean, I can't think of any other game that has you on the edge of your seat and makes you as jumpy as this game does. And here we have Deus Ex Human Revolution, released by Square Enix in 2011. And this game is really cool. It takes you on the typical story you would expect from any kind of game, but it really blends like a magical sort of feel with deep technology. And here we have Dragon Age Origins, released by Electronic Arts in 2009. And I got this game because I could not believe how amazing the cinematics looked in the trailers for it. Man, was I disappointed. I did not like this game at all, and I thought the graphics were absolute crap. Up next is Dynasty Warrior 6, released by Koei in 2008. And if you've played one Dynasty Warrior games, essentially you've played them all. It's gigantic hack and slash missions with just thousands of NPCs and all kinds of stuff, taking over various parts of China, Japan, all of that stuff. Yeah, it's the same as all the other games. Here we have the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion, released by 2K Games in 2006, and this was a really good one. I've heard it's a lot better on PC than console. On console, I felt it was pretty clunky, but overall, I mean, it was a fun Elder Scrolls game. I still like Morrowind, though. And, of course, the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, released by Bethesda Softworks in 2011, and this one, for whatever reason, my disc was not working. I think I got to pick up a new copy, but everyone knows what Skyrim is by now. I mean, the game was epic. I can't even tell you how many hundreds of hours people played this game. Up next is Fear, released by Vivendi Games in 2006, and that is the first encounter assault recon. So this is kind of like a horror, thriller, suspense kind of game with like a ghost chick. I mean, it's fun though. It's all right. Up next is Fear 2, Project Origin, released by Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment in 2009. And this game, they totally did a deep dive into story versus the first game. It is a continuation, but man, this game was just on another level. And here we have Fable II, released by Microsoft Game Studios in 2008. And the whole concept just behind these games of how the choices you make affect you later in the game, it was so cool at the time. I mean, every game in its monkey does it now, but this was kind of the pioneering franchise for this. And up next is Fable III, released by Microsoft Game Studios in 2010. And this one continues the story that's been happening in the franchise. It gives you all the same kind of things that you've become accustomed to with choice and everything like that. And it feels more grown up. And here we have Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition, released by Bethesda Softworks in 2008. And what's really cool about the special Game of the Year Edition is it gave you every single DLC that ended up coming out. And there was a lot, but Fallout 3, God, what a great game. I personally like Fallout 4 as well, but 3 was awesome. And last up for this video is Far Cry 2, released by Ubisoft in 2008. And this is the GameStop Pre-Order Edition. Fancy. And in this game, I think this was the first one that was kind of an actual open world Far Cry game. So they really set a precedence with this one, and it's still used today. So there you have it, everyone. That is everything that is currently in part 2 of my Xbox 360 collection. Now, let me know down in the comments below what you thought of today's video, and also if you've noticed anything so far that might be missing from my collection, anything that is an absolute must-have for the console. I would love to hear about it. And while you're down there, please be sure to also hit those like and subscribe buttons, as well as that little notification bell so you get an alert every time I got a new video coming out. Now, as always, I'm GameDad. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you later.